All right, the last quadrilateral that we're going to be looking at for area here is trapezoids. All right, in order to find the area of a trapezoid, you have to have base 1 plus base 2. We have to add those two things together, multiply times the height, and then we divide everything by 2. We're going to put that into practice right here. I like how this has it set up. Base 1. Remember, the bases are always going to be always going to be the parallel sides. So 12 and 8 are parallel. So base 1 is 12. Base 2 is 8. And then the height of the prism is right here, 7. So I'm going to go plug that information in. Area equals 12 plus 8. I have to add those first, times the height, 7, divided by 2. So I'm going to use my calculator, and I'm going to use the parentheses, 12 plus 8. I'm going to close it, and I'm going to multiply times 7. So that's the top. I get 140 divided by 2, and divide that by 2, and we get that the area is 70 units squared. So there's a basic one right there. Identify what is the basis. Remember, the parallel sides are the basis. Okay, so as we look at example 2, we have the parallel sides are here and here. Okay, I don't know what this base is down here. I can't just jump in there. But I do know that this side here is 8, and there's a tick mark, which tells me that this side over here is 8 also. I have an isosceles trapezoid, which means that the legs are exactly the same. So as I break this down, what I really need to figure out is what is that length right there, which is the same over here, because I know that this is 12. From here to here is 12, just like it is up there. So we need to figure out what that is. And also, while we're doing that, we can go ahead and figure out what the height is. We'll use our tool to solve this 60-degree angle here. So I'm going to go 30, 60, 90. I labeled it. I'm going to use this to solve for x. (2x equals 8). Divide by 2, x equals 4. Now I know that this is 4, and this is also going to be 4. So base 1, if I add this up, right, is 20. Base 2 is 12. I'm still missing that height, but at least I know what to plug in for x. 4, square root of 3. I have the three things that I need to find the area. Okay, and then now I also know the length down here. I can add up all of these, and I could have the perimeter. So let's just do the perimeter real quick. 20 plus 8 plus 12 plus 8. 48 is the perimeter that we need. Area for a trapezoid, base 1, 20 plus base 2, 12, times the height, 4 square root of 3 divided by 2. Don't let this square root of 3 bother you. We're not going to multiply it out. You just leave it there the whole time. 20 plus 12 is 32 times 4 square root of 3 divided by 2. And so we just look at these whole numbers right here. 32 times 4 is 128 divided by 2. We're just doing the operations right here. 32 times 4 divided by 2 is 64, and we still have the square root of 3 units squared. You know, us leaving that alone really just helps us solve with some simple math here. 32 times 4 divided by 2. And, you know, that square root of 3 just goes along for the ride there. Okay, on this next one here, we don't have the height. Okay, but we have a 45, 45, 90 triangle right here, so we can figure out what this height is. And also, while we're doing that, it's going to let us know what this length is right there, so we can know the total length of this base. So 45, 45, 90, I'll label that out. And this right here will tell me that if these two are equal, x square root of 2 equals 3 square root of 2. And I solve for x, I'm going to have to divide by the square root of 2. Any number divided by itself is 1. And even over here, I'm not going to jump into that crazy rule that we have, because the square root of 2 divided by the square root of 2, that's 1. We have x equals 3. So that worked out pretty easy and pretty fast, okay, to find our base. base 1, 4 plus 3, that's 7. I'll slide this up so we'll make sure we get it on the screen. All right, so we have 7 down here. Base 2, that's from here to here. Well, that's going to be the same as this 4 that's down here at the bottom. So base 2 is 4, and then the height is 3. So by answering those, finding those out right away, really makes this problem a lot easier. So to do area, base 1, 7 plus 4, times the height, divided by 2. So as I do 7 plus 4, I get 11, times 3, it's 33 over 2. And I can divide 33 by 2, and I get 16.5 units squared. And I know, a lot of times I say don't worry about decimals and just keep them, you can make it back into a fraction. But this is an exact decimal. This isn't something that we rounded up to. Leave it as 16.5 units squared. Perimeter. And so as I look at this perimeter, I'm going to add up the base. 7, 3, 4, and then this other side, the slanted side here, 3 square root of 2. Well, 3 of these are like terms. 7 plus 3 plus 4. That right there is 14. Now, these are not like terms, so don't add these together. Leave this as a mixed number. Our perimeter here is going to be 14 plus 3 square root of 2. All right, finishing this up. Good thing about trapezoids is we always have these medians, okay? We've already talked about them, is that if you have a median, it is going to be bisecting this trapezoid. So if you notice it's halfway, tick mark here, it's a midpoint of that leg, and then the 2 tick marks here and here tells you this point right here is the midpoint of this leg. So this is our median right here. We have a simple formula if they give us the median. So the median, the area formula is median times the height. If you look how we get the median, it's base 1 plus base 2 divided by 2. Well, that is very similar to a area problem for a trapezoid. Area for a trapezoid is base 1 plus base 2 times the height divided by 2. But this part right here is the median. So it's a way for us to find what the median is. So the area formula becomes median times the height. So it's just a way for us to simplify it down to an easy one-step algebra problem to solve the area if I have the median. So here on example 4, I do have the median. It's 8. And I do have the height. It's 8. Area, if I have the median and the height, is median times height. 8 times 8, which is 64. And then our last example here. Word problems tend to give us issues, but let the problem just set it up itself. A trapezoid has an area. They're telling you it has an area of 7 and a height of 5. What's the median? So they don't want to know what the bases are. They just want to know what the median is. So use that formula that we talked about right here. Area equals median times height. Plug in what you know. Area is 7. Median we don't know, so we leave it as m. Height is 5. Now, how do I counter this? Opposite of multiplying by 5. Divide by 5. If I do that on the right side, I have to do it on the left side. So then I take my calculator, and I do 7 divided by 5, and I get 1.5. It's an exact decimal, so I could leave it as 1.4. I said 1.5, but it's 1.4, and this would be centimeters for the median. I could leave my answer just like that. If I want to leave it in fraction form, I could just touch the math key right here, and I could hit enter on the fraction, and it turns it right back into a simplified fraction, which in this case is still 7 over 5 is our median. I could have either one of those answers right there. All right. Thanks for your time, guys. Y'all be good for the sub. Get some work done. It's going to be a busy week. So, I'll be gone on Wednesday also. And just be on y'all's best behavior. I want to hear good things about y'all when I get back. Thanks.